I mean, yeah, I think overall knowledge is way better. I think really as an overall unit, it's very experienced. Got a number of 6-year guys back, a lot of guys who have played a lot of football. So just overall understanding concepts, understanding what the offense is trying to do to them, how they're trying to attack our defense. The knowledge is as good as it's ever been.
Scott mentioned it in Indianapolis. Nick Cameron was a guy he was really excited to see. What's the next part you're kind of challenging him to hit?
Well, number one, Nick's got to stay healthy. I think that's the biggest thing for him. He's a really natural football player, really intelligent, loves the game, he's a great teammate. His number one deal is developing a routine that keeps him healthy, first and foremost. If he stays on the field, he's going to be a productive player for us.
How's he doing with that?
He's doing pretty good so far. I mean, 4 practices in. It's not 16 years, 200 straight games or whatever yet, but no, he's doing good so far. And, he's a guy that loves the game, too. He doesn't want to miss a rep. So I think a big deal for him is, developing a routine that really works well for him individually.
What is the rotation like? I mean, what's the starting rotation look like right now?
Well, I don't know yet, Seth, but I do know it's going to be a rotation. I think that's the biggest thing. I think any more in this conference, with as many snaps as you play on defense this day and age, and with the desire to play guys on special teams, we got to play more than 2 guys. I think that's a big deal. What that rotation is going to be yet, I can't say yet, but we're going to have a rotation for sure.
Do you feel good about beyond the 3, Chris, Nick, and the Reimer? Are there guys that you think can push for time and join in that time?
I do, yeah. I think Garrett Snodgrass has done a really good job so far. Ativa, he's really coming along. Jackson's played well. But I think we're still looking for more guys that have that trust factor to go out there, if somebody breaks a chin strap or something like that, run out there in the field. So we're still developing, but I am very happy where that next group's coming from.
Back to Nick real quick. What is it that you guys like about him inside versus outside?
I think the number one thing is he's really instinctive. I think to play inside, you got to have great eyes. You got to have a great awareness and just understanding for angles. That's his most natural spot. I think he's a talented enough athlete to go out and play outside when he needs to. I think he's most natural on the inside.
When you say he's got to stay healthy, he's got to do the things that help stay healthy, what does that mean there?
Well, for example, he's had a shoulder before, he's had a knee before. There's little prehab things that I think you got to just develop. I'll take me, for example. I've had little tweaks here and there, and I kind of developed the routine to kind of check those off a list as I'm getting ready for a practice, and I think that helps you. There's some things you can't control. I mean, you step on somebody's foot and roll an ankle, that is what it is. But I think when you've had little nicks here and there, you got to learn how to take care of those, and you got to develop a routine that, warm up properly after practice, whether it's in the weight room or the training room. You do a shoulder routine that protects your shoulders. I think those little things add up after a while.
Okay.
I think for those of us who are laymen, we're impressed by Reimer sort of on the surface of what he did last year. As a coach, when you get inside the film, what are the areas where he can make that jump?
Well, honestly, Luke, I don't know if Luke has a big-time weakness, but he's got to improve everywhere. I think that's a good way to put it. He's a really good athlete who really understands football. Probably the worst part of his game, I don't know if it's a weakness, probably the worst part of his game is the pass rush. But overall, he doesn't have a glaring weakness in his game. But it's all about having a mentality to improve each aspect on a daily basis.
So what's he do best?
I think, honestly, the best thing he does is instinctively run to the ball. Yeah. He's got a really good feel for angles. He's got a really good feel for knowing when to hit his gap, when to fall back. Has a good feel when to take his shot. And that's easier said than done. A great example is Levante David. He just had a feel for when to shoot a gap and when to stay alive and work over the top of things. And Luke's got a pretty good feel for that.
How many guys on the team get to the ball faster than Ryan?
Probably not a lot, in all honesty. And I think, like I was saying earlier, Seb, I think the best thing he does is he knows how to get to the ball. Sometimes it's not the fastest route, but he always knows how to get there. And I think that's when you're playing defense, everybody's got a job. There's 11 gaps. You got to have 11 hats in each gap. But at the end of the day, the ball is the object. So sometimes my gap's not threatened. I get to the ball, and it takes some guys longer than others to figure that out.
Do you feel like Kolarovich is caught up already with the other guys, or is there still some work to do?
Oh yeah. I mean, as far as the knowledge, the understanding, he is. And you know, I give Northern Iowa a lot of credit. They trained him pretty well, so he understood football. For me, teaching him really is about teaching him a different language. You know, when you learn new defense, it's kind of like learning Spanish. It means the same stuff, but we say it different. So that was the biggest thing with him, was the terminology and a few different techniques. But yeah, he had a good feel for that.
Thanks, Barry.
Coach Russ has talked about Will Holmes being out for the year. What can he do behind the scenes to help the position group?
Well, right now he's our signaler in practice, so he's doing that. And the good thing with Will is, you know, as much as he can, he's going to be around the meeting rooms, and hopefully when he has free time in the afternoon, you know, can help sit down, watch tape with guys, because you know he's been here for a while now, and he knows the way I want to do it, and he's got his own twist to it. And I want those guys to, you know, each have some ownership in their routine, and you know, he can just have another voice, another kind of sounding board for those guys.
Does he practice every day, or is he off doing
He's pretty much there every day right now. Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Barrett, can you speak to the intensity and physicality of practice 4 days in? Are you throwing a lot at him in terms of that?
Yeah, you know, I think you know, scheme-wise, it's probably as much scheme as we've had in over a few days, and they've handled it well. I was saying earlier, it's a pretty veteran group, so these guys understand how they need to work. I think young guys are still learning how to practice, how to prepare. I think the first group has a pretty good feel for that, and now it's a matter of making sure that everybody's at the same level.
Pads on this day, first day, second day?
Second day and half pads, no full pads quite yet.
As a coach, you got to love hearing that sound, right, after the offseason?
Yeah, I mean, it makes everything cleaner. You know, sometimes more fights and scraps happen in shorts because guys are going hard, and you hit somebody when you're not supposed to hit them. Pads kind of solve that problem, so it cleans it up a little bit for coaches.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Hey, Tom.